Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of my Pandora charm videos. I hope you're having a wonderful day and are doing well. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the purpose of Pandora Spacers. What are they? Do you need them? Why have them? What's the real idea about them? So this was a requested video. It was a comment left on one of my Instagram photos, and I'm so sad because I was trying to look for the person's name that requested it and I just couldn't find it. So if you're watching, thank you so much for requesting this video. I think it's a great idea and I really love doing these like Pandora educationally type videos. I think they're really fun. So to kind of get an idea and a grasp of Pandora Spacers, number one, really the intention of Pandora Spacers are for two purposes. One is to fill in empty gaps between charms on your bracelet. So maybe you're just starting a bracelet or you have a completed bracelet but there's still a little bit of looseness and it's just enough that it bothers you. The Pandora Spacers kind of go in and into those spots and they fill in that empty space. Now you don't have to even fill in that empty space, it's very optional. So if that is something that bothers you or annoys you, then you can put a little spacer in and it fills in those gaps, still allowing some movement on the bracelet, but not as much. The other reason to get a Pandora Spacer is if you have a special charm that you really want to highlight. And the spacers are kind of like bookends. So you put one here on either side, and it really just highlights and draws the eye in to that charm that you really want to be the focal point. So that's another kind of an idea of spacers. Pandora has a wide range of spacers, everything from very simple to very exquisite, like very detailed. So you can really customize spacers to work for a variety of bracelet ideas and types and designs. So I'll be sharing with you, if you can see here, a couple of my bracelets that do have Pandora Spacers or kind of spacer inspired ideas to them, where you can kind of see how I purpose them and why I have them on there and what kind of design purpose and function they serve for me. So we'll be going over those. So I'm really excited to share that with you. Now, before we get started though, because I haven't done a video, like a sit down video like this in a while, and I used to always show you what tea I was drinking. So, dun 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 dun, I'm actually drinking Glitter and Gold by David's Tea. It's so delicious, so definitely recommend. It's a black tea, and I made it as a tea latte. If you want to learn how to make a tea latte at home, I actually finally made a video about it. I'll link it down below. It's really fun, and if you guys are like me and you love tea, the tea latte is so delicious. So definitely check that video out if you want some ideas on how to make your own latte at home. And then also, how cute is this chip mug? It is so cute. And then it has a cute little, like an actual, I don't know if you guys can see in the, because I'm a little from a distance, but it has a cute little chip there. I love it. So it's so good. It tastes really good too. So let's get started in the video. Let's zoom you guys in and let's get going. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in nice and close to my Fairy Garden bracelet. And if you would like to see a detailed look about this bracelet, like what charms and the meanings behind it, I'll link that video down below. It's probably one of my most favorite videos I filmed, so definitely check it out. So on this bracelet, I have two spacers and two dangles. And what's interesting, at least for me, is I find dangles a lot of the time serve the purpose of spacers because the width on them, if you can see there, it's pretty close to the spacers. Now, these are really old spacers from Pandora, and they used to do really tiny spacers back in the day. They don't do that as much now. I just find that they're more, here I can quickly sneak peek. They tend to be more like this idea. They're a little thicker in comparison. So I really love these ones just because they still give a nice movement, which feels good on your bracelet. When you're wearing it, doesn't feel as restrictive because it's nice to have that movement, but they still add a really nice detail. So for me, I love these spacers because they filled in a gap. I didn't want to put any other charms in the middle of this bracelet. It was very, like if I were to put a charm, it'd have to be one charm and then it wouldn't be symmetrical. And then if I left it just with the dangles, I felt they were still moving around a lot, which did irritate me. So getting these two spacers and popping them here, as you can see, they still move. There's still a nice amount of room there, but it took away just a little bit more of that movement, which I really liked because I didn't find they were banging around as much. So that's ultimately what the Pandora Spacer is intended for. It's to fill in those little gaps where you don't want to put a big bulky charm in, or you want the little symmetry, and it just nicely fits in there. So that's the main idea. Now also from just the design point of view, it matches really nice with this theme. It has the pretty little roses on it, and it's right against the little flowers here, and it just looks really pretty. So that is the Fairy Garden bracelet. So the next bracelet I have to show you is my Inner Strength bracelet. It's really fun because they have these opalescent spacers that you can see here. They're beautifully detailed, and I'll do a little close-up of the bracelet here so you can see it. As you can see, they really bring a pop of color. They really help draw the eye in right to the center of this bracelet, just by having that little pop of color here. I could have, if I wanted to, put them right here, but I find they highlight this charm better, being one charm away from it. So I think that looks really pretty. Again, it does fill an empty space, but as you can see, there's still some movement to this bracelet. So it's not completely restricted, there's still some flexibility to it. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention about this bracelet is the use of color. I always have a color story in all my bracelets, and in this one we have the opalescence. So I have it echoed here, here, and here. Now this is where spacers are also very useful to add a pop of color to your bracelets. I really wanted to have a nice balance of the color throughout, but I also wanted to fill this bracelet in with very meaningful charms that center around that inner strength theme. So having spacers, they add that color story without, me needing to put in a big charm with that color in it. So that way I was able to focus in around the really special, meaningful charms that surround on this bracelet that really do mean a lot to me. So that is another reason why I really do love spacers, because they add a pop of color without taking too much room on the bracelet, which is really great. Now the next bracelet I have to show you is my Something Blue bracelet, where I actually technically don't have any proper spacers on this. I would love to get the gold Trinity spacers. Those are the little flower ones. I think it would look really pretty since this is a two-tone bracelet. But right now, what's serving the purpose of spacers are my dangles. So I have a little cross dangle and the family tree dangle, which are right there. And they fill in, as you can see, an empty space for me, so a gap, but they still allow some movement to my bracelet and the flexibility that I need. So that's what you can kind of see here. Now, I'm a big fan of using dangles as spacers because most of the time the dangles are so beautiful and they really represent something special to me or a memory. So I'm a huge fan of using dangles as spacers to kind of use that same philosophy of spacers on the bracelet. So I think that looks really stunning. And the last bracelet I'm going to show to you from my collection is my When You Wish Upon a Star Disneyland themed bracelet. So this is a work in progress bracelet. It's not completed yet, but I'm excited to share it with you so you can kind of see an idea of how I've already started planning this bracelet around some spacers. So I have the Starshine Spacers, which are right here in the middle, and they're so beautiful. They really catch the light and they're really pretty. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of movement in this center right now. I still wear this bracelet though because I think it's really pretty. It has a lot of movement to it and it's very comfortable. And it's a work in progress, so it's special to kind of wear it and see it as it slowly starts to develop. So for me, the reason why I put these spacers in is, again, it fills in an empty space, but I really wanted to focus the eye in on that center charm. I love this night sky charm so much, and I find the little twinkling star shine really brings the eye right into this charm, and they really complement it well since there are stars here which look very similar to the Starshine Spacers. So in this case, I'm using spacers to really complement and highlight a charm, which I think is so beautiful, and it looks so lovely. Hopefully, we were supposed to go to Disneyland in May, this past May, but I was unable to go. Just a couple things are going on health-wise for me, so I wasn't able to go, but I'm really hoping we're to go end of September. We had rebooked it then, so fingers crossed for me. I'm really hoping I'll be able to go and maybe add another charm to go on this bracelet. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little look about Pandora Spacers and the purpose behind them. Just to conclude, Pandora Spacers are great to fill in the gaps of your bracelets, to maybe make a focal point or kind of center around a special charm, or add a pop of color to your bracelet or a unique design. So how do you guys style your spacers? Do you have a creative way of doing it? Are you similar to me and how I use it? Or do you just avoid spacers and you'd rather just use special charms in your bracelet and have a little bit more space between your charms? I'd love to know, so please let me know down below. Anyway, cheers you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now. Oh, and do you hear that? Those are my guineas drinking some water. They are too cute. Anyway, bye guys.